Good evening. It's me again with another one of my original songs called I Want to Hold You Tight. It is oft. I'm from Indiana. It's off my Hooked album that came out about 3 years ago. And most people, if you're into monster movies and stuff, will probably get the references to the verses. But basically, the first verse is about our little buddy, Wolfman. The second verse is about our pal, Frankenstein, and his lovely bride, which I will insert into this. And then the last verse is about our buddy, Dracula. So, not that matters, but that's part of the song, right? Well, it is the song. Anyway, so very simple song, simple solo. I originally recorded this. I used a guitar, but the main guitar in it is a baritone. I'm not gonna fiddly diddly with that. Most people are playing guitars, so regular guitars. So if I say so one more time, now I'm going to show you how to play the song in standard tuning on a regular guitar. The chords in this song are B minor, E minor, F sharp, F sharp 7, and then during the bridge, there's going to be an A. There's an A in the verse too. Anyway, it's going to be an A. There's going to be a D. And there's going to be a C sharp or a D flat. Same thing. That's your chords. As we do them, I will explain them in more detail. So, like all the YouTubers say, let's get into it.
I ain't up for blood, I'm just looking for
just to hold you tight. I wanna 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 hold you All right, your first chord is a B minor. Your root note is right here. Remember the A minor shape we've talked about? If you play an open A minor, or you're using that shape. So this is a B minor. That's what it looks like. I will show you how to do that. You will bar everything on the second fret, starting at the A string. So these 5 strings. You're going to take your middle finger, put it on the 3rd fret of the B string. You're going to take your ring finger, put it on the 4th fret of the D string. You're going to take your pinky and put it on the 4th fret of your G string. This is the chord you will be making. So you're making this whole thing. The low E string is not in play. The way that I do this, I mean, you try to target just those 5 strings, but I always let the meat of my first finger kind of touch up here so that if you hit that, it doesn't ring out. Got it? Good. Your second chord is an E minor. We should all know this by now. That's your E minor. The way you play that is you take your first finger, put it on the 2nd fret of the A string, take your middle finger, 2nd fret of the D string. Everything else is played open. Got that? All right. The other chord you're going to be using in the verse is an F sharp. So you know your E shape. We went over this, but I'm being thorough. It's that E shape, like if you played an open E, but you're going to move it up. 1 position is F, 2 positions is F sharp. So you're barring everything on the 2nd fret, all 6 strings. Taking your middle finger, placing it on the 3rd fret of the G string, ring finger, 4th fret of the A string, pinky, 4th fret of the D string. That makes an F sharp. Now, when you do the F sharp 7, all you have to do is lift up your pinky. Hear that? F sharp 7. That causes tension. So, here's how that first, the intro goes. So you got the drums. So what I'm doing with my right hand there is I'm just doing a simple strum. So you got So it's hard for me to teach strumming patterns because I just do it by feel. So I guess that's a down C. So a down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. And then I add, so the first verse is, I'm a lonely man, pure at heart. And then I add a little, so that riff is, so all I'm really doing is playing the single notes of what is basically the E minor chord. So you're playing the second fret on the A string. You're playing the second fret on the D string. And you're playing that D string open. And then you're playing the second fret on the A string again. So it sounds like this. And then I'm incorporating that into the chord. So you got, so when I hit that note right there, that B note, I play the B chord. So slowly. Let me show you the right hand of that. So you need to listen to the song. I don't do that every time. I kind of do it in between the singing lines. You'll hear it in your ears. I do that on the baritone. Again, I mentioned that. But I'm showing you how to do this on a regular guitar. So this is all, I'm sort of teaching you 2 guitar parts at once here. How fancy is that? So the verse. I'm a lonely man, pure at heart. Is full, the howling F sharp starts. So you start with that F sharp, and I'm using all downstrokes. F sharp 7. And out for B minor to the A. But I'm just looking for love. On a moonlit F sharp 9, then you're hitting that E minor, but you're staccato like that. So on a moonlit night, I wanna hold you tight. So what I'm doing there is playing a little arpeggio. I'm just going. And I'm basically just playing the notes down and then back up. And I'm just playing I'm playing the whole bar B minor chord. Like that. But then I'm arpeggiating the 4 strings, starting on the D string. So there's no right or wrong way to do that. The patterns, I'm just freestyling there. That's the thing you need to remember too, is I'm just doing this by feel. I don't technically have a way to do it. The longer you play guitar, the more you will understand feel. It just comes naturally to you. I'm trying to teach you what I'm doing, but it's really hard for me to teach you feel. So know that. This pick tastes good. So again, on a moonlit night, I wanna hold you tight. Then the second verse is exactly the same as the first verse. So you just do everything I just showed you again. So coming out of the second verse, you're going to go into what is the bridge, and you're going to hold that B minor for a beat. So coming out of the second verse, you got let the lightning strike. I wanna hold you tight. Then you're gonna play an A. Forsake your heart and save your soul. B in a minor. And you're gonna go to a D. My love burns hot, but my blood runs cold. Who wants to live forever? And then you're gonna start the solo. So let me run over those chords again real quick. You got coming out of that C, B minor to an A. Remember how we play an A? Cover that. You play that A like that. Forsake your heart and save your soul. And the way you play it is back to those strumming. Forsake your heart and save your soul. You're going back to that B minor. So A to B minor. And then you're going to go to a D. My love burns hot, but my blood runs cold. So you just strum the D. My love burns hot, but my blood runs cold. Who wants to live for? And then you'll start the solo. So strumming the D. So the whole part is. I'm going to pull back so you can see the whole thing. It's hard to play bent over like this. Forsake your heart and save your soul. My love burns hot, but my blood runs cold. Who wants to live forever? So when you go into that solo, I'll show you what to do. All right, solo. Again, originally I did this on a baritone, but that's not important. I'm showing you on a guitar in standard tuning. So you're going to start. It's that here's the first part. So the way we're doing that is we're sliding on your G string, starting at the second fret. Use whatever fingers you think are comfortable. I'm going to show you what I do, but whatever fingering works for you, do it. So the way I do that is I'm sliding on the G string up to the 4th fret, and you're hearing the B string ring out while I do that. So the first part of that, the way I'm doing that is you'll hear me go, when I go. So I slide up, you hear them both. When I slide up, I play the G and the B string at the same time. And then I pick that B string. And then I go back and pick the G string at the 4th fret. So those are both B notes, but that joining effect is what makes it cool. So I do the same thing, just walk it down. So here it is all together, both hands not quite in there, but. So what I'm doing with the fingers is. So very slowly, slide up to the 4, and here hit both strings, G and B. Then pick the B string open, and then pick the 4th fret of the G string. Then slide down to the 2nd fret, let both strings ring, and then pick the B string open again. So. Then you're going to slide up on the D string to the 4th fret. So when you slide up to that 4th fret on the D string, you're going. So a little pause and then hit it. You're hitting it 3 times, but your sliding is 1, 1, 2, 3. And you're coming back, sliding back to the 2nd fret. So from the 2nd to the 4th. So you're going to go 2nd fret on the D string, open on the D string, and then you're playing the 2nd fret on the A string, which is the B note. So that little part there is slowly. And if some strings ring out, it's okay. I mean, it just adds to the atmosphere. So up to that point, we've got so after that, you're going to play this. So the second part of that solo is going to sound like this. Slowly. And the way I'm doing that is playing a series of triplets starting on the 2nd fret of the A string. And the way I do that is just... So we got, and then open D string, then 2nd fret on the D string. So up to that point, you got, and then you're going to end it with, and the way you do that is 1 note each on each one of these. So 3rd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the D string, open on the D string, and then open A. So that whole thing slow is... And then it starts over from the beginning. And then we have a new part. So that last part is going to sound like this. And the way you play that is 2nd fret of the E string. You're doing that like we did before. Remember that? So each one of these 3 notes is going to be the same way. So it's going to be 2nd fret of the E string, 1st fret of the A string, 4th fret of the A string. So just up to there, we got... And then the last part is going to go... And the way you do that is single notes starting at the 4th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the D string, open D string, open A string, and then B minor. So the whole thing slowly, that last part. So the entire solo, very slow. So the chords over the solo are pretty much the verse chords. It goes and only then it jumps to the F sharp. F sharp 7, and back to the intro. So the last verse is exactly like the other verses. The only difference is it leads to the end of the song. So it's just slightly different. The chords are basically the same. But at the very end of it, it's never say never, for love is forever. I walk the night, F sharp to E minor. I wanna hold you tight. 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 So the end of the song, it just goes from the B minor to the E minor over and over and over again. Just right after that verse, you have 3 breaks where it goes, I wanna hold you tight. And you just kind of build up that. So that little staccato thing. Pretty simple. It's just doing that break. And then that's it. That's the whole song. That's everything. And it just keeps going and going. I fade this out on thing. The album eventually fades out. But I just keep repeating that B minor to E minor for the rest of the song, and then we end up fading it out, and then you hear the crypt close. You'll hear it if you listen to the whole song. It's kind of hard to get to the end because it's a very, very long fade out, and then it's over. Kind of like this video.